the show must go on, even if there is going to be some excessive heat. However, they're having to deal with the excessive heat over at the Muni for rehearsals. Looks like that is going to be lifted Wednesday evening, just in time for beautiful weather for Friday, where you're going to have a high of 88, but as the sun goes down, it's going to be gorgeous out there at the Springfield Muni. And joining us right now for the show that's coming up Friday, it's Ragtime, and we've got Sarah Geckner. She plays Mother. We also have Brett Rutherford. He plays Father, and Deb Rudis is the president of the Springfield Muni. Thank you so much for taking time with us this morning. How you guys doing?
Great, thank you.
Good to hear. All
yes.
right. Let me actually turn your microphones up so we can actually hear you. So, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, good to hear. So yeah, we got asked you during the break about the heat. How's that keeping things going with rehearsals? And to the actors, Sarah and Brett, tell us about it.
It's keeping us on our toes. You know,
Yes.
you kind of just have to condition your body to be used to it once you get out there. Ragtime is set at the turn of the century, so we have very ornate costume pieces, and they're made of wool and, the Maria von Trapp's drapes and some things like that. So they're very heavy, but, we adjust and we make it
great.
work. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous.
So it's
Yes.
worth it. We can suffer a little bit for our art because that's,
And we know, that the school post of Friday night being beautiful is
Yes,
in sight. So we're going to work on it.
Yeah,
It's going to be
right.
like a breath of fresh
Yes.
air.
Absolutely. After all the rehearsal and the sweltering heat
Yes.
and whatnot. So for those who aren't familiar with Ragtime, give us the synopsis here. What's the show all about?
Well, it's about turn of the century, 1906 and around there. It's a time of change, and we're looking at really kind of three families or individuals and their families. We have the New Rochelle family, and that's represented today with me and with Mother and Father, so with Sarah and me, and then we also have African American character who is Coalhouse Walker Jr., who is portrayed by Mike Wallace, and then we also have an immigrant who is coming to America for the first time, and that's Tata. And it's Daniel Mann. So
It's kind
those
of the
three
melding
stories,
of those
yes,
three
it's
stories, how they intertwine at the turn of the century, and it's kind of all brought together through the music of the time, the ragtime music.
Well, and tell us about the music. I mean, this, of course, is a musical at the Springfield Muni. So, tell us about some of your favorite songs and maybe some songs people would recognize.
This is a score written by Flaherty and Ahrens, who are pretty popular writing team for musical theater. This is my favorite musical of all time, and I think it's probably one of the most lush musical scores ever written.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost music from start to finish. There's music underneath dialogue. There's music everywhere. So it's gorgeous. It's heavy. It's not your toe tapping, but it's so meaningful. But I would say favorite pieces. New music for me is this lush, beautiful piece for the New Rochelle chorus.
I like Back to Before.
Oh, well, thank you.
That is.
Yes, and then Coalhouse has an amazing piece in Act 2, Make Them Hear You. And then all of the choral pieces, Till We Reach That Day, Henry Ford. I mean, there's historical figures woven in too, which makes it really interesting to hear too.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, it's like we have two 11 o'clock numbers. I don't know, 11 and 11:01. 11 o'clock number. I was kind of new to that terminology, but it's basically.
What does that mean?
It's kind of like the big number of the show, and this one has at least two.
Oh, wow.
And they are like very end.
They're big. It's very big, and they're gorgeous.
They're
They're
back
wonderful.
To back. Yeah, I have a piece
They're
back
so
to before,
good.
and then Michael Wallace Coalhouse has a piece, Make Them Hear You, in there.
Yeah.
Well,
with 61 voices, is that right? About
61 plus a pit chorus of 5 or 6.
Wow.
So.
Very cool.
Yeah,
That's
beautiful.
pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But again, it's going on this weekend. Opening night is Friday at the Springfield Municipal Opera, the Muni, and you can get tickets. You can get all those details at the Muni's website. Ragtime this weekend, but it's also next weekend. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes, Wednesday through Friday next week. So
All right.
Friday through Sunday, Wednesday through Sunday.
Sure,
yes,
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought you were going to give us the weekend off. No, we'll be there.
No.
We'll be there.
So this is just one of several shows. Of course, they had SpongeBob the Musical, which several of our coworkers here were part of. And then you got Ragtime. You've also got the Newsies coming up and Matilda, and I'm sure that we'll be talking about those features coming up here with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY at 7:43. But with us, of course, is Sarah Geckner. She plays Mother. We've got Brett Rutherford. He plays Father. But also Deb Rudis is the president of the Springfield Muni. And Deb, there's a lot of actors involved in all of these things. Are there some that are in one show and then in the next show and then in the next show? How does all this work?
Yes, actually, when we have auditions, we ask individuals, would you be willing to do more than one show? And luckily, many people this year said yes. They were so excited to get back on the stage, and yes.
Well, after the past 2 years not being able to do it, and I think there were plans to do something last year, but
and
that
the year
was
before.
Yeah, and that was canceled, but back at it on stage. So the local acting community is definitely ready to get back at it.
They are, and the audience has certainly shown up for us, and they're ready to see theater. So it's so exciting to put these 4 shows, 3 of which are brand new to our Muni stage.
It's fantastic, good stuff. But there's other stuff that you guys talk about as well at the Muni. Deb, tell us about the tickets.
Yes, ticket sales. Well, for the first time, you can actually reserve tickets online, both for reserved seating and also for general admission. And to have a conversation with an actual voice, you would call 314-534-1111. And we can, of course, still sell our tickets online, which is themuni.org, or you can still go to the box office 90 minutes prior to opening. 3 options there.
Fantastic. And it's obviously an incredible community event with the Muni each and every weekend, and they've even got shows on the weekdays as well. We'll get that entire schedule here, but the weather looks great after we get through the successive heat warning. And something else, too. I mean, you guys are rehearsing. It's not just standing up on a stage with lines. Is there a lot of dancing as well?
There is some. Ragtime is more of, I call it a park and bark show. I'm not a dancer. I'm a stand and deliver park and bark.
A park and bark show. I am learning so many terms from the theater community this morning.
There are dance numbers.
Yes. There's even a baseball game.
There is a baseball game
right there on the stage. And that's funny too. I mean, there are it's kind of a heavy show at times because of the subject matter.
Sure, yeah.
But there are moments that
there are moments of levity.
Yes.
And we're bringing in a real Model T.
Yes.
At a 1923 Model T. It got delivered
on
yesterday.
stage?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
How in the world do you get that on stage? Is it like an
carefully.
empty, hollowed out Model T or something?
Well, pretty much. The interesting thing is the cars, the Model Ts back there, were not that large. So
it's made for a little bitty person.
Two possibly, but definitely a one-seater. But yes, it made it through the Torms and into storage, so it's going to appear on stage.
That's pretty awesome. So again, that's the Muni this weekend. You got Ragtime, and as I said, we'll definitely be featuring some of the actors and the discussions about forthcoming shows later on this summer, including the Newsies and Matilda. So put it on your calendar. This weekend, you've got the Muni presenting Ragtime, a great selection of songs and an important conversation to be had about the history of this country. So I think that you'll definitely enjoy that. Bring the family under the stars at the Muni. The weather's going to be gorgeous. Again, give us the show times and the dates, because it's not just this weekend, it's also next week and weekend.
Right. So this weekend is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 17th, 18th, and 19th. And then we're back on Wednesday, the 22nd, through Sunday, the 26th.
Fantastic.
It's the perfect show to, start out your 4th of July weekend because it's all Americana.
It is all Americana. 8:30 curtain time.
Yes.
There you go. That is Deb Rudis, the president of the Springfield Muni. You've got Brett Rutherford. He plays Father, and Sarah Geckner plays Mother. I'm Greg Bishop. You guys have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day. Break a leg. Don't sweat too much.
Thank you.
We'll
try our best.
And by the way, I'm just now recognizing the handlebar mustache. Is that part of the...
Yeah, that is definitely part. I even got up early so I could twirl that handlebar just for you and your audience. How's that?
Fantastic. Good stuff. All right, well, guys, I appreciate you taking the time with us, and break a leg, and we'll see you soon, okay?
Thank you so much.
It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7.